Everyone, please be on mute except Sapan Prabhu, and Sapan Prabhu will sing Narsingha prayers.
Shri Narsimha Pranama. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Daine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatanka nakhalaye Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimho Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimho Yato Yamitato Narsimha Yato Yamitato Narsimha Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Nar Singhamadim Sharanam Prapade Nar Singhamadim Sharanam Prapade Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringa Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Shri Shri Narsimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Sapan Prabhu. Very beautiful prayers. Wonderful. So, welcome to Sankardev Prabhu and also Prakash Prabhu. So, thank you very much joining for both of you. So, I am very, very happy to see you. Every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30, we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Currently, we are in chapter 6. So, to both of you, don't feel like you are in the middle. Yeah. Few chapters are already completed. You are in the middle, like that. You don't feel. Few terminology you may not understand. Okay. But don't worry. Okay. What actually I used to recommend everyone, in the group, I used to tell many times, I mentioned many times also. Okay. Have a notebook and a pen with you. Okay. Yeah. Also, I hope you have Bhagavad Gita as it is book. Yeah. So any questions, you please make a note. Yeah. You can ask me in the session or even separate, you can send me a text message in WhatsApp. Yeah. So that I will answer in the next session. Yeah. Or whenever we meet in the temple, you can ask. Yeah. But so that make sure you clarify your doubts as soon as possible. Okay, for any question which I don't know, I will ask our seniors, my seniors, and I will learn from them, and I will pass on the message to you. Okay, so don't think that I know everything. Yeah, we are all learning here together. Understand? So that's what I am saying. Okay, so few terminology, if you don't understand, also don't worry. You just make a note so that I will explain. Huh? Right. Okay. So let me share the screen. In our last session, we discussed till 18, sixth chapter, 18th verse. I think 16, 17, 18, we discussed in the last session. So this, this is from Bhagavad Gita as it is book, and the purport written by Srila Prabhupada, and the chapter name is Jnana Yoga. Okay, so we'll give a quick recap what exactly Krishna mentioned in these verses, and then we will move on. So mainly in our last session, we discussed about the habits of eating, yeah, and also habits of sleeping, yeah, because in 6.16, if you see here, there is no possibility of once becoming a yogi, or if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or doesn't sleep enough. Okay, so we should be very, very balanced. So this is something which we can implement in our daily lives. Those who couldn't attend the last session, I hope you have gone through the recorded class, yeah, where we discussed. Prabhupada recommended 6 hours minimum, 6 hours sleep, yeah, is enough for the body. But our mind tells, no, Prabhuji, no, that is not at all enough. I need more sleep, like that. Okay, so it comes by practice. Again, on Ravanami lecture also I mentioned on Saturday morning and even Sunday, nothing will happen overnight. Understand? Okay, we cannot implement something overnight, but that sincere desire to practice, and slowly in a gradual way, okay, we can reach the goal. Okay, so if you feel 6 hours is sufficient, not sufficient, okay, 8 hours maximum, okay, between 6 to 8, that's it. Sleep more than 8 hours means definitely not recommended. So also go to bed early and get up early. That's why we shifted the timings also. Previously, this our session time is 8 to 9. But our devotees in the group who are attending, they go to bed and early, and they wake up early. So they requested, let us have 7:30 to 8:30. So the main reason of changing the timings also, so that devotees can go to bed early and get up early, like that. And then food habits. Achyahara is very, very dangerous. Yeah. And also alpahara is also very, very dangerous. In the form of, in the name of, sorry, 1 minute. In the name of austerity. Okay, both are not recommended. Okay, the main point, one point we discussed in the last session is, Prabhuji, we are taking Krishna Prasadam only. Krishna Prasadam is transcendental. Why can't I eat more? Why can't I eat as much as I like? Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, like that. So an youngster, like we have Sapan Prabhu is there, we have Shankar Dev Prabhu is there. Yeah, the youngsters, they have the capacity, eat more, comparing to, elderly people or even middle-aged people, like that. So depending upon your age, okay, so, and that stamina, you can eat as you like, but ensure the regulation, because yes, prasadam is Krishna prasadam, but the body is gross body, isn't it? We don't have a spiritual body. This is not a spiritual body. The body is gross body. Okay. So that's why we can't digest it. That's the problem. Health is high priority. And then comes service. If you are healthy, you can serve the temple. You can serve devotees. You can serve the deities. Understand? So by balancing your health, you have to serve the temple. That is very, very important. Understand? Yes, prasadam is transcendental. Okay. Once you are liberated, when you occupy your spiritual body, then you can eat as much as possible. In spiritual world, no one will stop you. Got it? So otherwise, yeah. So this balanced diet is very, very important. Just give me 1 minute. I will come in a minute. Okay, so these things, these are the things which we can implement daily. Yeah. And he who is regulated in his habits, eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can meet all material pains by practicing yoga system. Yeah. Recreation, including sex life. Yeah. Eating, sleeping, we discussed. Recreation, yeah, sex life, regulated sex life. Okay. And work, whatever, we work. So by regulating, okay, don't try to earn too much. Also in the name of devotion, no, so Krishna will take care of my family. I don't want to work. Both are dangerous. Understand? Yeah. So earn something where, you can survive and, you can maintain your family. Yeah. And, sufficient savings for livelihood. Okay. These all need to be balanced. Okay. So these are the things we discuss. And then when the yogi by practice yoga disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendent, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. So when a person, okay, who practices yoga by following all these things, he will be the true yogi. Yogi doesn't mean having a long beard and go to forest and do tapasya. No. All our beautiful devotees are yogis, isn't it? We had an amazing and beautiful kids program yesterday. Okay, starting from a small age, like Haridev. Yeah, even youngest is I think Dinabandhu Prabhu's daughter Arna is the youngest. Okay, till the Ravana who played the role of Ravana. The oldest of all those kids. They are all yogis. Isn't it? Yeah. They are very innocent. Yeah. Pure hearted. Yeah. Very beautifully memorized what they want to say. Okay. So they utilize that, that time in the service of the Lord, and they presented, very nicely. They are all yogis. And those are involved, the Matajis, the makeup, or organizing, yeah, or writing dialogues, whoever, they are all yogis. So yogi means that one who performs their service to the Lord by regulating whatever we discussed so far, eating, sleeping, mating, yeah, and work, by regulating those things. And they are yogis. Okay, they are the true yogi. Prabhupada mentioned in the purpose at many places, that one. You understand? Now, let us continue with the 619. Shankar Prabhu, could you please read 6:19?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yata deepo nivatasto nenjate sopama smrita yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. Translation.
Yeah.
As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhakti A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A truly Krishna conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant, undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, is as steady as a lamp in a windless place.
Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. This is a very, very, very important verse. Very important verse. Yeah. Yatha Deepo Nivatastho. Yeah. In Ramayana class, we quoted the example of Bhakta Sabari, if you remember. Yeah. So, Yatha Deepa Nivatastho, the lamp, okay, which is stable as a lamp in a windless place, doesn't waver. It's a stable. The lamp is stable. Yeah. So our faith in Krishna should be like that. Stable. Fickle-minded person or a person having a fickled faith, yeah, unstable faith, they cannot progress in bhakti. Okay. No matter what obstacles we face in our lives, our faith in Krishna must be strong. This is very, very, very important. And it is not supposed to be a pretension. It is not supposed to be a pretension. It is not supposed to be a show business. Okay. Having a consciousness or a mood, thinking everyone should glorify me as a great devotee. Like that. Okay. So this stability is very, very important. This stability in bhakti is very, very important. That's why yesterday we had our mentor meeting. In the meeting, I asked everyone, what are your services and are you doing these services consistently to the temple? Yeah, a consistent service to the temple. Understand? The stability in our services. Without changing our mood, without changing our consciousness. Okay. Serving the Lord, serving the devotees, and having that desire to serve. These things gives us that quality of having a strong faith which doesn't waver, just like a lamp in a windless place. That is very, very important. So here, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled, only those who can control their mind only can do it. Just a minute. Yes. Okay. So this controlled mind helps us. This controlled mind helps us. I think I mentioned this one. I went to ask I don't know whether I mentioned in our session or in other session. Yeah, I went to ask them in Trafford Park, they, in upstairs in George, they have written, a statement. Yeah. The statement is written like, don't follow regulations of life. If you follow, you miss the fun. Understand? Like that. So if we don't have the traffic lights, we may enjoy driving. Yeah. Because no traffic lights, we can continuously drive, we can enjoy driving. Yeah. But what happens when there an accident occurs? Understand? Why the traffic lights are there? The traffic lights are there in the city, all over the world, everywhere, to regulate the traffic, to ensure the people are safe without meeting accident, isn't it? So the regulations, the rules and the regulations recommended by scriptures are for the betterment of the soul. Then only we can control mind, so that we can practice this a stable, bhakti with a strong faith. That is very, very important. Yeah. Many people comes to temple. We used to ask them, please come again, like that. I remember, we know Dinesh Prabhu here, who lives very nearby. Everyone know, if you know Dinesh Prabhu, I still remember. So he was a student those days, Dinesh, and that day 12 students came to temple, 12 youngsters to the temple, first time, including Dinesh. I was with them, I spoke to them in the temple hall, while taking prasadam. They're all sitting, around me, and I spoke to them. And I requested them, you please come to temple, yeah, and I explained our temple programs and all, like that. But the only one who again and again and coming, consistently coming, and who started practicing bhakti, and who took initiation, yeah, and who is very stable in his bhakti is Dinesh Prabhu. And of course, he's a wonderful wife, Sujita Mataji. And yesterday we can see his daughter is played the Kaikai role, and his son played the small, that little Ram role, like that. I felt very happy when I saw, the same temple hall, that guy, that person was a student once upon a time, few years back. Now, his wife is organizing along with other Matajis, Sujita, and his son is there with some costumes, and Ram, Tilak, his daughter is there, they are saying a few dialogues. Yeah. Such a, because when you have that stability, you will carry forward, you will carry forward it to the next generation. And the next generation will be engaged. Yeah. So that not only we get benefit, so our next generation will also get benefit. Understand? So that's why one should be like a lamp in the windless place. I have given another example. If you remember, who remember this one? Thunderbird. I gave the example of Thunderbird before. Who remember? Who can explain this Thunderbird? Yes, Manjula Mataji, please.
Prabhu, I hope I'm getting this right. It's to do with the Chataka bird.
Yeah.
The one who only takes, and no matter how much thirsty it has to stay, it will do so, but it will drink water only directly when it goes right very close to the clouds to drink the water.
Yeah.
So, and it will endure all obstacles on the way, no matter what. But it's very dedicated or committed in drinking that water. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Perfect, Mataji. This Thunderbird, it drinks water from ground only. Yeah, it flies high in the sky. Prabhupada explained. Yeah, it drinks water from the ground only. If it can't find, it drinks the rainy water. Yeah, if it can't, if there is no rain, it will wait for the rain, but it won't drink water from ground. This Thunderbird. Prabhupada explained a devotee should be like a Thunderbird. Okay. It just waits for, wait for the rain to drink water. If there is no rain, it waits. So even though it sees the water on the ground, it won't drink from there. So Prabhupada mentioned a devotee should be like a thunderbird. Understand? So here Krishna is mentioned, a devotee should be like a lamp in a windless place. Like that. So that commitment, that dedication, okay, to continue bhakti, that is very, very important. So always remember this thunderbird example. Always remember this lamp in the windless place, this example. Okay. So this is a very beautiful verse for us, which tells just like again, Mother Sabari, who has a very strong faith in her spiritual master's instruction, and very patiently wait for Lord Ram. Okay, so those who has this patience to bear, they can only progress in the spiritual life. Okay, so think beyond this lifetime. Okay, think beyond this lifetime. That is very, very important. Okay, now let us move to the next verse. 2023. Okay, Shankar Prabhu, can you read this one also?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu. Yatro paramate chittam nirudam yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyanatmani tushyati sugam atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam atindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitaschaladi tatvatah yam labdva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tatah yasmin sthito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samgitam. Translation. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. Purport. By practice of yoga, one becomes gradually detached from material concepts. This is the primary characteristic of the yoga principle. And after this, one becomes situated in trance or samadhi, which means that the yogi realizes the super soul through transcendental mind and intelligence without any of the misgivings of the identifying the self with the super self. Yoga practice is more or less based on the principles of the Patanjali system. Some unauthorized commentators try to identify the individual soul with the super soul, and the monists think this to be liberation, but they do not understand the real purpose of the Patanjali system of yoga. There is an acceptance of transcendental pleasure in the Patanjali system, but the monists do not accept this transcendental pleasure out of fear of jeopardizing the theory of oneness. The duality of knowledge and knower is not accepted by the non-dualist. But in this verse, transcendental pleasure realized through transcendental senses is accepted. And this is corroborated by Patanjali Muni, the famous exponent of the yoga system. The great sage declares in his Yoga Sutras 3.34, Purushartha Sunyanam Gunanam Pratiprashavaha Kaivalyam Swarupa Pratishta Va Chitti Haktiriti.
Yeah. Mataji, you want to read from here? Jai Sri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please, Mataji. Yeah.
This Siddhi Shakti or internal potency is transcendental. Purushartha means material, religiously, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end, the attempt to become one with the Supreme. This oneness with the Supreme is called Kavilayam by the monist.
Kaivalyam.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Kaivalyam by the monist. But according to Patanjali, this Kaivalyam is an internal or transcendental potency by which the living entity becomes aware of his constitutional position. In the words of Lord Chaitanya, this state of affairs is called Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Chaitanya Charitamrita. To read this one also. Antya 20.12 or clearance of the impure mirror of the mind. This clearance is actually liberation or Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. The theory of Nirvana, also preliminary, corresponds with this principle. In the Bhagavatam 2.10.6, this is called Swarupena Vyavastitihi. The Bhagavad Gita also confirms these situations in this verse. Can I read next para also?
Yes, Mataji, please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. After Nirvana or material cessation, there is manifestation of spiritual activities or devotional service to the Lord, known as Krishna consciousness. In the words of the Bhagavatam, sorry, Prabhuji. Swarupena Vyavastiti. This is the real life of the living entity. Maya or illusion is the condition of spiritual life contaminated by material infection. Liberation from this material infection does not mean destruction of the original eternal position of the living entity. Patanjali also accepts this by his words, Kaivalyam, Swarupa Prastita Va Siddhi Shakriti iti. This Siddhi Shakti or transcendental pleasure is real life. This is confirmed in the Vedanta Shakti or transcendental pleasure. Sorry, Prabhuji. Vedanta
Sutra.
Okay. Vedanta Sutra as Anantamayo Vyasat. This natural transcendental pleasure is the ultimate goal of yoga and is easily achieved by execution of devotional service or Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga will be vividly described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
In the
Thank
yoga,
you,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll ask now Prakash Prabhu. Prakash Prabhu, can you read from in the yoga system, please?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. In the yoga system, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
In the yoga system, as described in this chapter, there are two kinds of samadhi called Samprajnata Samadhi and Asamprajnata Samadhi. When one becomes situated in the transcendental position by various philosophical researchers, he is said to have achieved Samprajnata Samadhi. In the Asamprajnata Samadhi, there is no longer any connection with mundane pleasure, for one is then transcendental to all sorts of happiness derived from the senses. When the yogi is once situated in that transcendental position, he is never shaken from it. Unless the yogi is able to reach this position, he is unsuccessful. Today's so-called yoga practice, which involves various sense pleasures, is contradictory. A yogi indulging in sex and intoxication is a mockery. Even those yogis who are attracted by the siddhis, perfections, in the presence of yoga are not perfectly situated. If yogis are attracted by the byproducts of yoga, then they cannot attain the stage of perfection, as it is stated in this verse. Persons, therefore, indulging in the make-show practice of gymnastic feats or siddhis should know that the aim of yoga is lost in that way.
Continue, Prabhuji.
The best practice of yoga in this age is Krishna consciousness, which is not baffling. A Krishna conscious person is so happy in his occupation that he does not aspire after any other happiness. There are many impediments, especially in this age of hypocrisy, to practicing Hatha Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. But there is no such problem in executing Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. As long as the material body exists, one has to meet the demands of the body, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. But a person who is in pure Bhakti Yoga or in Krishna consciousness does not arouse the senses while meeting the demands of the body. Rather, he accepts the bad necessities of life, making the best use of a bad bargain, and enjoys transcendental happiness in Krishna consciousness. He is called towards incidental occurrences such as accidents, disease, scarcity, and even the death of a most dear relative. But he is always alert to execute his duties in Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga. Accidents never deviate him from his duty. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2.14, Agama Payuno Nityasa Tamasa Titik Saswa Bharatha. He endures all such incidental occurrences because he knows that they come and go and do not affect his duties. In this way, he achieves the highest perfection in yoga practice.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So, very beautiful verse. Very beautiful verse. So, thank you, Jayasri Mataji, Prakash Prabhu, and Shankar Prabhu. So, it's a 6th chapter 20 to 23. So, 4 verses together. Yeah. So, what exactly mentioned here? Let us read one more time the translation. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. The definition of samadhi we discussed already, if you remember. What is the definition of samadhi? Samadhi doesn't mean back in India, samadhi, jiva samadhi, might be you heard this word, jiva samadhi. When the person is alive, okay, they will be buried. Yeah, like that. No, originally the samadhi doesn't mean it. The samadhi, the trance means when a person completely absorbs his mind in the thoughts of Krishna. Completely. Completely means 100%. Understand? Complete spiritual thoughts. Yeah. We discussed this verse, a few days back, like Anukulyana Krishnanu Silanam Bhakti Uttamam. So, Anukulyana Krishnanu means favorable to Krishna. Thoughts that are favorable to Krishna. Acts that are favorable to Krishna. That is the best bhakti. Okay. So, that is nothing but samadhi. Okay. So, this perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. Okay. So, one should aim to this perfection. That is very, very important. Okay. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness. Remember, material happiness is temporary. Material happiness is temporary. Understand? But that transcendental happiness is permanent. And you may get this material happiness by acquiring wealth, but it is temporary. But to get this transcendental happiness, one must be spiritually wealthy. Yeah. Again, I mentioned, Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanna, the definition of Lakshmana is given, Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanna. So, Vike Maharshi explained Lakshmi Sampanna means, Lakshmi means that spiritual Lakshmi, spiritual wealth. Okay. Sudama. Yeah, childhood friend of Krishna who is very poor. but he is transcendently happy. It doesn't mean, don't earn money. Okay. For livelihood, we have to earn money. Yeah. But whatever is required, that is very, very important. But whatever is required, one must, earn. So here, very beautiful point is given. So let me first read that one. Then we will discuss the rest. So what is it given is, see. Today's so-called yoga practice, which involves various sense pleasures, is contradictory. Understand? So don't fall in the trap of the yoga system. Okay, what's in the external world, people will give, okay, physical, that yoga, Surya Namaskaras and the other yoga, that's fine. That's absolutely fine for better health. Yeah. But, different people give different type of, yoga practice, which involves various sense pleasures. That is contradictory. Yeah. That is not in synchronization with the yoga explained in Bhagavad Gita. So we should be very, very careful. We should be very, very careful of that one. Yeah. So, and even here Prabhupada mentioned, even those yogis who are attracted by siddhis, perfections in the process of yoga, are not perfectly situated. Yogis who aim, like, to get these siddha powers, if they acquire those powers, they may walk on the water, they may fly on the, in the air. Yeah. And even, they'll leave the body and enter into another body. That is also there. Yeah. By getting that mystic powers, some yogis, they can leave the body and they can enter into another body. So Prabhupada is explaining even this type of yoga is also not perfectly situated. We are not at all interested on such a type of yogas. So these are some sort of, yes, Manjula Mata, you raised your hand.
Sorry, Prabhu, just out of curiosity, why would anybody want to enter anybody else's body? It sounds very not right to do that, isn't it? You're interfering with somebody else's personal space. That's not right.
True. Why do people want to hear about others' lives, others' gossips, what is happening in other lives, Mataji? Yeah, this is also like that. Is it not? True, definitely. So how will it be helpful? Yeah. On the path of bhakti, yeah, yes, they will acquire those, powers. That's fine. Yeah. Maybe, they will get some name, fame, and, or, so that's why, some, a section of people are like that, Mataji. They like it. That's it. That's why they have to realize, what is the use of this one. Yes, Samudra Mataji, you raised your hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, when I heard a lecture of Srila Prabhupada, he was saying that when in India sometimes there's a Kumbh Mela and there are millions and millions of people there, but there's not enough transportation where people can get through. So what these yogis do is they take the body of a fish and then they travel that way and then they go to the Kumbh Mela. So they do it for the right purpose as well sometimes, not just for...
Yes, definitely.
I just want to mention
of course, they are genuine yogis. Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely, Mataji. So thanks for raising this point. Yes, I heard that lecture also. Yeah, people don't know from where they come. Yeah, and all this Kumbh Mela, these yogis with some like naked bodies, something like that, and they have these what you call vibhuti, applying all over their body. Yeah. At the time of Kumbh Mela, it's fully crowded. True, that's very beautiful point. So we don't know from where they are coming. So like, they are genuine yogis. Okay, they have those powers. but they don't use those powers for destruction. They just use those powers, for some constructive purposes. So they will come, they participate in Kumbh Mela, and again, we don't know how they go. Yeah, we don't know, how all these people are, where they are going, and how, again, there is no transport, but they will go like that. Yes. So remember, see, that's why I am about to say the point, if yogis are attracted by byproducts of yoga, see, these are the byproducts of yoga. These are the byproducts. I remember, once Prabhupada is, he got down in, I think in his initial days, something like that, from flight in US, and Prabhupada's disciples received him. Very good, wonderful reception. And Prabhupada got into a car and they are going. The car is going. Yeah. And this, all of a sudden, the police started chasing. They stopped. And they looked into the car. Some 4 or 5 people are there, and Prabhupada is there. And they said, like, we found some effulgence in the car. Yeah, some sort of light, some effulgence. So we were suspected. We suspected what is going on in this car. Yeah. So that's the effulgence of Prabhupada. And because he is a pure soul. So these things are byproducts, isn't it? Yeah. So these things are byproducts. Even in previous yugas also, how could these sages curse? How could they get this power of curse? Yeah. So these are all powers, they get, by their sadhana, by their yoga, but they don't misuse it. We know Narada Muni cursed so and so, Duras Muni cursed so and so. Yeah. So like this. So how do they get it? They get it, by that sadhana, but they don't use it. Those who use it for destructive purposes, that is very, very dangerous. Like Samudra Mataji mentioned. Yeah. So they used that mystic power just to participate in Kumbh Mela. They attend Kumbh Mela and they vanishes, they goes. Yeah, they don't scare people, they don't earn money by showing these powers, okay, or they don't seek the name and fame by showing these powers, isn't it? So remember, these are all byproducts of yoga. We are not at all interested in byproducts. Okay, byproduct means they will come automatically. They will come automatically. Why do we say, hey, don't offend Vaishnava? He is a pure Vaishnava. Why do we say? Yeah, because it's a sin. That power is there. They have that power. They have that spiritual power. They have that transcendental power. Don't offend Brahmanas. Yeah, don't offend Vaishnavas. So why do we say? Because of their sadhana, because of their purity, they will get those powers. Means, that purity, but they don't care of these powers. They are very, very merciful. But, we should be careful like that. Understand? So even Hiranyakashipu, yeah, even demons, Rakshasas, Hiranyakashipu performed tapasya by standing on the tip of, the toe, folding one leg, raising his hands like this. Yeah, very severe tapasya. Brahma did not appear. Then what happened? All 14 planetary systems became, trembled by the power of Hiranyakashipu's tapasya. And Brahma is forced to come. Understand? So like this. So tapasya, by tapasya, these powers will come, mystic powers, but they are just byproducts, and that is not our main goal, to use them. So that's why Prabhupada is clearly mentioning they cannot attain the stage of perfection just by these things. Okay. Persons therefore indulging in make-show practice of gymnastic feats or siddhis should know that the aim of yoga is lost in that way. See, make show practice of gymnastic feats or show business, some sort of gymnastic feats are showing the siddhis. Okay, it doesn't improve or develop or progress the spirituality of that person. So Prabhupada is giving a alarm, raising the alarm, alert. Okay, don't fall in this trap. I remember, I don't know, maybe in my childhood or somewhere, there was a news like, some Baba will come in the moon, something like that. Yeah, in the moon, so Baba will come and then he will appear in the moon, and all the people, including media, coming and focusing on moon, and people are waiting. The moon came. There is no that particular Babaji face in the moon. Yeah. So like this, people are easily attracted to these type of things. Yes, sir. Satish Prabhu. Yeah, you raised your hand.
Prabhu, I thought of sharing something which related to this. So there is this movie called Abhay Charan from Prabhupada, related movie, where there is a character by name Falku Baba. Falku Baba or something. So he actually knows yoga and he uses it to attract people and try to control them as if he's the god.
Yeah.
And then he goes to an extent where he says there is no one better than me. And one of the devotee, I don't remember his name. It's related to an ISKCON person only. He comes and then proves that he's more, well, Krishna conscious person is more powerful, and all of this is nothing before God. So I thought I share you this because it's quite related to this. This yogi powers.
True, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that's why the bhakta is more powerful because they have that service. Yeah. So because they have that service. So we know the best example of Damodara Leela. Mother Yashoda could bind Krishna. Yeah, in the Leela clearly mentioned, Mother Yashoda could bind Krishna by her pure love, whereas these great yogis who are performing tapasya for thousands of years, they are unable to bound Krishna. Okay, they may have these mystic powers acquired, yeah, but they couldn't bound the Lord. But Mother Yashoda, with her pure love, that motherly affection, Vatsalya ras, she could bound Krishna. Understand? So yeah, so that's very wonderful point. Being a devotee, devotees are fearless. Yeah. So we are not, even I heard, in one long time back, exact don't remember the names, when a person, I think he has some sort of okay, let me check and I will share that later instead of telling with half knowledge. Yeah, but so this is a key point here. Yeah, so don't fall in the trap of mystic powers. Even though if someone has that mystic power, it doesn't help us in our spiritual life. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, now Prabhupada here explains, as long as material body exists, one has to meet the demands of body. We already discussed this one. What are the demands of body? Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Yeah. But a person who is in pure bhakti yoga or in Krishna consciousness doesn't arouse the senses while meeting the demands of the body. Rather, he accepts the bare necessities of life. Okay. Making the best use of bad bargain. Yeah. So bare necessities of life. We're not saying, don't earn money, you earn money, but to take, of course, I have given this example once, if you remember, some of you remember, okay? Just as an example, it's not like pointing out the great personality or celebrity. Just as an example, 2 examples I have given. Like Amitabh Bachchan, Kaun Banega Crorepati. Of course, before Kaun Banega Crorepati, I think we heard that he was in losses. ABCL Corporation went into debts. So he come out of that situation by earning money from Kaun Banega Crorepati, you know, something like that. Yeah? Apart from that, in general, I am saying if a person has that sufficient savings, you know, they have to focus on spirituality instead of using their name, fame, okay, and doing more programs, and acting more again and again, and earning more and more. What is the limit for that one? Yeah, so sufficient so and so is there. Yeah, money is there. Yeah, family is settled. Kids all married, settled. Okay, now just to focus the rest of the life. Yeah, so of course bhakti should start from beginning, from childhood, but who is the true who is the person who can really control their mind? Okay, though they have the capacity to earn more, but stop that journey and focus on devotional service. Yeah, so like this, there are so many celebrities. Yeah, so they earn more and more and more. Okay, so but there is no limit for that one. So that's why if someone has taken the path of devotion, the spiritual life as a serious thing, okay, their consciousness is like, yeah, whatever is required you earn, and then just to focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, don't go for more and more and more, because there is no limit for that one. And in our Telugu states, there was one politician. Now he is no more. He passed away a few years back. Okay, at the age of 90, he was at the age of 90. He gave an interview, and the interviewer asked the question, so what is the goal of your life? Yeah, are you happy? Because this person is a successful politician. I think 7 times or 8 times he won as a member of parliament, and and in central minister, like that. So successful politician. Starting from his age of somewhere in 20 to 23, he started, yeah, like that. So the question asked from the interviewer is like, are you happy with your, political life, or do you have any other ambitions, goals? And he said, I want to become President of India. Yeah, he's already successful, and he's at the age of 90. He wants to become the President of India. Why I am giving this example is, see, there is no limit, isn't it? Like that. And after giving this interview, within 1 month he passed away. Okay, so mind is so powerful, it tempts you to get the name or fame or wealth more and more and more. It tempts. Yeah, something or other. Okay, if you have wealth, you want fame, something. So that's why the controlling mind means the true controller, the true yogi. Yeah, though he has the opportunity to earn more, he stops voluntarily. Okay, though he has the complete strength in the body and full comforts in his life, he voluntarily surrenders. He is the true yogi. So this is very, very important, for us to understand. So that's why that in the previous verse, that the lamp, yeah, in a windless atmosphere, the lamp in a windless atmosphere. That example, the example of Chataka Pakshi. Okay. And in this verse, who is the true yogi? Okay. So these are all, very beautiful verses for us. Yes, Manjula Mataji, you raise your hand.
Prabhu, I just thought I'll share. This is the mind's trick to keep you entangled in the material world so that you keep
Yeah.
on making the fruitive body and
Yeah.
keep on taking repeated births and deaths. And it's the biggest trick of the mind. And I think most people fall to it because it's very tempting as well. So I just thought I'll share that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Sorry, I have taken 4 minutes extra. But since the topic is very important, now I thought, to share. So if you switch on your videos, first we will take the devotee darshan, all the devotees, then we will take the deity darshan. Thank you, Sapan Prabhu. Thank you, Samudra Mataji. Thank you, Shankar Prabhu, Jayasri Mataji. Thank you very much. Wonderful devotee couple. Thank you, Ambada Prabhu. Thank you, Bhuneshwari Mataji. Where is Pranishta Prabhu? Is he there? Hare Krishna Pranishta Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you, Manjula Mataji. Very beautiful Prabhupada behind you. You are really blessed. You can see Prabhupada behind you. And see beautiful Krishna behind Sapan. Yeah, very wonderful. Thank you, Shankar Dev Prabhu. Thank you very much. I hope, yes, Manjula Mataji. Yeah, please tell me. You are on mute, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was just going to stop the video. I accidentally pressed the wrong.
Okay,
thing.
fine,
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so Sumudra Mataji, would you like to give the deity darshan?
Sure.
Sure.
Today, one extra guest, so he is here.
Sorry, Mataji, your voice is breaking. Okay, wonderful, very
We
beautiful.
have one extra guest today.
Oh, extra guest. Who is he?
Yes, this one. Val Gopalji.
Okay. Yeah. Whose deity is it, Mataji?
My nephew, Amit, and he's gone to London, so kids' holiday. So I said, drop little one to mine and I'll look after him.
So your house became the shelter of all, deities.
We have more gods here than devotees.
Yeah, I think, it became like that centralized repository of all the deities. Very beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, now let us take the darshan of Radha Gokulananda. Today they are in bluish garments. Gaurnita, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. And please take the darshan of Radha Gokulananda. These are the garments sponsored by Madhavi Mataji. I think she brought from India last time. So very wonderful. I think even Mataji stitched them in India and brought here. So today Lordships have this beautiful garlands, beautiful garments. Okay, so thank you very much. Shankar Prabhu, as usual, he will post the recorded class. Please go through it once again and make a note of important points. And if you have any doubts, please make a note. Yeah, please post to me. We will discuss in our next session. Okay. So thank you. So and thank you, Prakash Prabhu, once again, and Shankar Dev Prabhu for joining. Please join continuously.
Hare Krishna, just one small, can I just know, if there is the previous 6 sessions available link, and if you can post it in the group, it might help us to go through and come in pace with the rest of you also. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Shankar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, it is there in the group description. In the group description, playlist.
Oh, yes.
There. If you go there, no, it is there from previous recording also. Previous chapters.
So this is one of the wonderful surveys, doing by Shankar Prabhu. And some devotees from India also, they are going through these sessions.
Okay.
Naveen Prabhu, Soumya Pandey, and and a few others, some of my friends also, they are going through these recorded sessions regularly. Yeah, please, go through those previous sessions also, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. We will conclude here. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Sankadev Prabhu, you are in the group or
Yes, I am there in the group.
you are in the group now? Okay, you
Yeah.
can go through the description. There it is. The link is there.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Vachakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Pitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.